Hi, I'm Ross Trachtenberg with Figure It Out Baseball. I'm the recruiting coordinator and hitting coach at Westchester University, and I want to share with you some of the concepts that we follow in terms of our hitting program, and these are really on a daily basis. So to start with, when we're designing a day for our hitters in terms of a practice setting or even a pregame setting, we want to have a focus that we're really working towards. And that could be something as, we're going to see a lot of velocity from a pitcher, so let's make sure everything we do focuses on that. If we want to be better hitting in 2-strike counts, then again, we want to work that into our practice plan or even our pregame setting. So to begin with, it's really communicating that to the players. I like to actually have it written out and posted so that the players can see what their batting practice rounds will be, or if we're hitting in cages or in groups, they know what rounds we're looking to do, what we're trying to accomplish. The next kind of concept that I really like to implement early on with our players is that they do not get one more if their last swing isn't a good one. So if they're doing a set of 5, which is usually what we limit our rounds to, the 5th swing is their final swing. If they foul it off for swing and miss, they do not get one more. This concept just is there to make them really pay attention to all their swings, including their last one, and then also get used to failure. In a game situation, if you strike out, you don't get to ask the pitcher or the umpire for one more. So we practice this on a daily basis, and our hitters know if they don't have a good hit on the last one, that's the end of their round. They'll get more hitting later on. However, that's it for their round. They have to walk out of the cage or out of the hitting tunnel and understand that they didn't execute the way that they hoped to, and they may be a little bit more focused the next round. The next concept that I like to implement is making sure our hitters are always hitting in a game situation. So even if we're hitting in a cage, even if you have your hitters just working low flight balls off of a tee, have them hit in a count. At all points during the game, you're hitting with an 0-0 count, a 3-1 count, an 0-2 count. So just depending on what you want to work on, put your players in a game situation simply by putting them in a count. And if you're working with the ball in flight, so front flips, side flips, throwing batting practice, what a player should look to swing at in an 0-0 count is very different than when they're in a 0-2 count. So again, my suggestion is always have your players sit in a count. You can adjust that certainly depending on what you're trying to accomplish during the practice, but put that game situation into their head. Your goal here is to make sure they're maximizing their effort. So by limiting their swings to, again, say 5, they're not getting tired by the 7th or 8th swing in a round. 5 swings is really plenty in my mind for them to max out essentially in what they're trying to do. And when you add in an element of you're hitting in this count, you're looking for this type of a pitch or location, that makes them slow down and have to think about the situation and be able to process the information, which they're again going to have to do in a game situation. The next piece that we like to add in, and again, adding layers to it, would be the challenge of having a base runner on. So if we have a runner on third base with less than 2 outs, what is our approach? What are we trying to do with an 0-0 count compared to an 0-2 count? In a batting practice setting, you can physically do this. If you're in a batting cage setting, you can have runners on the outside reacting to the ball being pitched, reacting to the ball being hit, so you can get more players involved. And then when you have runners working with the hitters, you then have players getting into the batting cage a little bit winded, a little bit fatigued, which is, again, the situation they'll be in a game situation. So those are just a couple of the comments that I like to share with our hitters early on to make sure they understand every time we're swinging the bat, we're swinging it with a purpose. I want them to understand that they always have something they're trying to do with their at-bat. When they get into a game situation, they may only get an opportunity to put the ball in play 2, 3, maybe 4 times in a game setting. We want to make those count. Well, we need to practice like every single swing counts. By limiting the number of swings per set and by adding in game situations for the players, it helps them not only physically develop their swing, but also really mentally build an approach of what they're trying to do in a game setting. Again, I'm Ross Trachtenberg with Figure It Out Baseball and Westchester University.